Well, first of all, number one son, number two kid, number one son is doing his kitchen chores right now, and laundry's going because that's how life works. I get the household chores going before I do any of my YouTube work, and so you get real life. Oh my, okay, so what has been happening in the last 3-ish months? Well, you guys, to start off, I quit being like super tight, super frugal. I stopped. I was burnt out to the hilt, and I quit trying to live small, live tight, live, on a $100 budget. I gave up. I'm not going to say that I just went and bought whatever. For the most part, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not the person that dreams of going to Target for milk and comes out with so much more. I'm just typically not that person. I'm not one that cares about shoes. I don't care about purses. I don't even care about clothes. I hate clothes shopping. I hate it. I'm not the weight that I want to be, and finding the style I like for this body is non-existent. So all of those things, it's not that I buy stuff like that. What gets me is like treats for the kids, or going and doing something with the kids, or books. Trying really hard with books, y'all. I'm getting okay. I'm getting better. So yeah, I pretty much fell off, and trying to pay off the house was like, why bother right now? Why bother? I'm done. I don't care. And so yeah, nope, I was burnt out, and it's really bad when you just don't care. Usually I can get like a burnt out, but then I feel really bad. I should have been stronger. I should have been tougher. I did not care. Then during the summer, I really thought we were gonna have kind of a break in like our work and other things, but no, it picked up. And I think that kind of contributed to the I don't care. So if we did McDonald's, I didn't care. Well, then I had to start caring. My daughter, I know I've talked about this before, like we have gluten issues, and we go off, and then we all have stomach pains or whatnot. Well, it's gotten so bad that she's extremely sensitive right now to it. I can't even do our once a week anymore with her. And then my son had the same problem. He started getting to the point where everything he was eating is just going right through him. So I've had to like get strict again, but it's funny because then it starts like building other things like, well, we don't really need to buy this. Why are we buying this? And those things. It just starts that chain of events of being more routine and more strict and more wise with your choices. So that kind of started up, and then if y'all know, I had 2 kids that I've been babysitting for ever, and then I have respite care with 2 other kids, so there's 4 right there. The 2 kids that I babysit got 2 cousins into the picture through marriage, and they needed a babysitter, and I had a really hard time. I was like, I don't know if I want to put more kids, even younger, on my plate. And, I don't come to these decisions lightly. I know it may look like that, but there is a lot of prayer. There is a lot of staying up late throughout the night, just thinking logistics. What is this going to look like? Is it going to start affecting our family? Is it going to start affecting our kids? Is things going to start falling out of place? What is this going to look like? And because it really is a ministry. Again, their cousins are also in a poverty situation, And so the mom needs to work, the dad needs to work, and the kids really have nowhere to go, and the parents can't afford a daycare. Like, it's expensive. And what I get paid is genuinely, it's a ministry because it's 50 cents a dollar an hour. It's not a whole lot. So I really struggled. I was like, I'll ask the kids, because they have an idea of what life should look like. And so I'm going to get out of it this way. I'm going to be able to say, you know what, kids aren't really comfortable with adding more, and then we have our school. We're just not going to do it. Yeah, the kids were all on board. They're like, Mom, we should do this. This is great. So they're wanting my out. And I was like, oh, great. So we were back to the drawing board, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll tell them we'll do this. And this was really weeks and weeks of agonizing daily issues of, not really issues, but like praying and like, oh, I don't know. So I went back and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Then I took on those 4 kids and respite care whenever I'm needed. Then I have respite care coming up in September where this kid is in a wheelchair and he's a teen and he's a large. So, you know, you're going to need good, strong woman to do this. And his cousins moved across the street, and the mom worked out her schedule so that she's a nurse, and she can work nights and weekends when her husband's home. But in order to do that, she had to work every other Monday during the day when her one kid is in school, and she has it's not even a 2-year-old. And so she was trying to find somebody that could take on. Now, she pays good. And it was a little girl, and I was like, it's every other Monday. Okay, fine. Yeah, we had a first day of back to school. We had 7 kids here. We had my first 2. School wasn't in yet, so they weren't in school. We had the other two that I just took on. And then we had that little girl, but because there was no school, I also had her brother. We had those 6 kids, and then we had a neighbor kid from across the street over here. We had 7 kids, plus mine. We had 12 kids here. And thankfully I had older ones that were helping, and oh my goodness, it was crazy because, so 7 of those kids out of the 12 was my 5-year-old and down. So they were 5 and down. 7 of them under age of 6. It was nuts. But they kept each other fine. It really, for as busy as it wasn't too insane. And I was like, I could not do this. I would not be able to do this 3-4 days a week and keep school going, because we didn't do school that day. It was just too crazy. And I was like, okay, this was my key. That day, the 2 kids I have now, they're going back to school, so I only get them maybe once a week, maybe. And when I do, it's only in the afternoons after they're out of school. If any of them are out of school, I get them for an hour or 2, 3, maybe 3 hours tops, maybe. So they're slowly fading out of the picture. The 2 boys that I just took on after all that, their mom got a better job that worked out hours in her favor, and she's like, I don't know if I'm going to need you anymore, because I think I've got it worked out. I've got the night shift. I'll just come home, go to sleep when the kids are in school, because hers is starting school up, because a lot of them do like the pre-K and things like that. I'm like, well, there went the other 2. Maybe I have them once a week, maybe not. And then that little baby, it's every other Monday, and she has attached to my eldest. So my oldest girl is like, can I just have her because I love her and she loves me and we're just so buddy. So she's actually just taken it over. So all this babysitting that I was worried about has pretty much worked itself out. And maybe I'll have kids, maybe I won't. That's where all of this has changed. But my online work. So I was looking for books for a website. I look for discounted, cleaner Christian fiction Kindle books. It's a job I have. The lady that ran that, I was like a co-owner with. She started it, she did all this, and she's like, I just need somebody to find the books and post them and do, everything once in a while. And it takes like 3 or 4 hours a week. And she's a writer, and she got to the point, she's like, do you want this? I can't run this anymore. And I ended up taking it. It was what started me on virtual assisting. This kind of work is what started me with the whole virtual assistant. I worked with another website at the beginning of all this when I was working really hard, doing the same thing. And now I've pretty much taken over everything, which means I answer the emails, I run the marketing, I have to find these books, I have to do this, I have to do it all. And I've got to learn how to make graphics. And you might think, well, why did you do that? If you don't know how to do all this, why would you take that on? I took it on because it is a job that can move with me. If we are called to another state, the babysitting stays here, the respite care stays here, the house cleaning stays here. This job can move with me, and it can create a steady income regardless of where I am. So that happened. I had another person contact me and it's like, hey, you want to be my secretary? Like, can you run my schedule? So tell me what I need to do on every day, do all this. I need you to do that. So I've taken that on, and I'm doing that. And that takes about 30 to 40 minutes a day. And that's a very generous amount because a lot of it is me just searching through all the emails, making sure that I've got it all. Trying to think ahead enough that, okay, we have this coming up, if we can at least be aware of it. So, I mean, all these little details, okay? So 30 to 40 minutes is generous. School started up. So the kid that I teach, and I send a list of what to do, what I expect, what I need back. Here's the list of homeschool books that I have found for you. Do this. All of that has started back up. So I have to make sure that I'm writing his weekly, we call it packets, his weekly packets, so that he knows what he needs to do. I can see based on last week what has been done and accomplished and what was done well, and what I need to move forward with. Again, another thing that takes 30, 40 minutes once a week. Yeah, and the one gal that I worked for from the beginning of my virtual assistant job and have come back to her. Her work has definitely slowed down a lot, but I'm still working. But it's like I clocked 2.5 hours in 2 weeks. This last cycle. So there's not a whole lot of work there, but all these little things that just add up and are just helping us out. For the most part, our food budget has increased. Like the kids are eating us out of house and home. And I know it's only going to get worse. But yeah, they've been eating a lot more. And the fridge seems to be going empty a lot quicker. So we're trying to figure out, okay, what is a manageable budget so that there is enough to eat? What are we making it like a convenient thing? And what is, basically what are we wasting money on and what is doing good? So that's kind of a good wrap up of what's going on, what's going forward in terms of work, income coming in, and whatnot. My husband and I got sick about 2 weeks ago. And it's just congestion. I still have a little bit left. And It really wiped us out. We were just really tired. And then we figured out a lot of it is because we weren't doing wheat, we weren't doing sugar, we weren't doing a lot of these things that we kept talking about. We need to clean our diet out. We need to clean all this out. Yeah, well, we got sick, and guess what? We did all of that. We cleaned it all out. And oh my gosh, coming off the sugar was a nightmare. It was, oh, I forgot how terrible it is coming off sugar, like what it does with your system. But what we learned in all of that is just when I'm coming off sugar, I have zero energy, zero. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. And when I did, it was just go in, get what I needed, and get home. Didn't want to do anything else. And it just starts making you think of your life differently. So when I plan my grocery trips, I plan a certain amount of time. And that amount of time includes little things that I could do, like go to the thrift store, look for one thing. Well, that one thing, turns into a whole lot of other things. And I don't want to do it. During that time, my husband has gotten a raise, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this months back. And what we have done is his raise amounts to like an extra $20 a week. And we're like, well, we've budgeted our whole life for this, or whole life, but we've been budgeting for this amount. So an extra $20 a week, why don't you just take that money as your blow money, okay? And I've been watching my husband just putting it in his little sock money. He's just putting it in an envelope, and I've just been watching it growing. And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm like, I'm gonna go get coffee. I'm gonna go do this. I have money. I can spend it. And my husband's just building it up. Yes, he's like, oh, I'm sure I want something, and when I get it, it'll be expensive. And I'm like, I don't think like that. I don't do that. That is like natural for you. I don't do that. I'm like, there's money that I can spend, so I will. Because there's just something I want to do. And so when I started babysitting, and I get the babysitting money from the new boys, because it's very inconsistent. It's whatever her tip money is. And so someday it'll be $10. Someday it'll be $15. So it's pretty much been a $10 or $15. Today was like a $5 a $5 day. I was like, okay, okay. Whatever. I've just been putting it aside. I'm like, I wonder how long I can keep it going. Wonder how long I can keep doing this. And I already know what it's going to end up being. One kid's going to need braces, I can tell. So it's going to go into braces. Yay me. But I'm using that discipline, and as here's a paycheck, and it's just going to go there. Like, it just automatically goes there. I don't put it in my purse. I don't put that mindset in my head that this is spending money. It goes into something like what my husband did. He just started an envelope and just started putting it in there. And that's what I'm doing. Well, my camera is blinking at me like, you've got a minute left on your card. So this is the update. This is our money management update. There's no things going on here, just kind of sharing what's been going on. So Christmas is coming, so we're going to have a video on that, but I'm going to have to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with my next video as soon as I can. Bye.